What's up guys, Brian Grant here of ContestChampion.com. Welcome back to some more Alliance War coverage here. This is an Alliance War against the Alliance U.UB1, and to be perfectly honest, I get kind of wrecked in this video. I've got quite a long path carved out. This is going to be the first of 6 fights. This is a bleed node here, so I'm going to go in with Vision here, with the bleed immunity of course. And I end up fighting against Nightcrawler. Now, something before I get into this actual fight here, I forgot to boost. I did not boost up. Normally, I boost every single Alliance War, whether it be a 10 or 20% boost. I definitely, fire that off to make my path just a little bit more manageable. Completely forgot this time around, and you'll see that I definitely pay the price for it later on. But in any case, this first fight up against Nightcrawler here is going, fairly smoothly, considering I can't even get him to like backdash to switch his stance or anything like that. So I'm basically just playing the parry game, stunning him with parries, and then trying to get some attacks in that way safely. It gets a little bit dicey here at the end as I'm starting to get close to that back wall there, but all in all, it's not too bad. Hit the level 3, and this will be enough to take him out. So first fight, Nightcrawler. Nightcrawlers, they're kind of hit or miss for me. Sometimes I do alright against them, sometimes I get kind of wrecked. In this case, I did alright, so I was actually pretty happy with that. The amount of health I lost was very minimal. So moving on to the next fight here, we have node 12. Is that node 12? Yes, node 12. And this particular node is also not terrible. It's not too bad. It's basically just some increased health and Optimist here, and something that I always forget to manage, which is Plagued Mind, which means my power is going to be getting drained. I don't really know who to go in here with, so I just pick Black Widow. When in doubt, Black Widow it out, and I see the sad fate of going up against a 5-star Storm. Of course, that class disadvantage is not so great. Storm overall is not that terrible of a fight though, so I don't really mind it all that much. It's just that whole class disadvantage and the fact that it's a 5-star that has a bunch of amplified health. So I know this is going to be quite the long fight, and I don't play this one even close to perfect. As you'll see throughout the fight, there are a lot of missed parry opportunities where I end up eating a lot of damage just having to take some blocked hits. For the most part, I try to control Storm on her SP1. Her SP1 is just a little bit easier to dodge, in my opinion. Her SP1 and SP2 are both very dodgeable, but it's something about the SP1 where it's just a little bit slower. It gives you a little bit more time to react, and a little bit more forgiving. So I try to dodge that one as much as possible. Plus, it gives you more opportunities to get some free hits in. Now, you can see that I am poisoned right now, which means I am running the Suicide Masteries. And I'm taking a little bit of damage here from that, but it's really not too bad at all. I'm only ticking for 4 health right now. I'm losing 4 health in that poison and willpower balance there, so it's really not that big of a deal. The majority of the damage that is incoming to me is from whenever I have to block one of her attacks, where I'm taking several hundred damage per hit. Even the times where I land a parry, I'm taking a decent amount of damage, so that's really where that incoming damage is actually coming from. Now, I should have used my SP2 there. If I can go back in time, I would have used my SP2. It would probably not have killed her. I don't think it would have killed her, but it would have at least dealt a significant amount of damage. I would have been fine taking that little bit of health loss from recoil. I would not have minded that at all, actually. So now I'm just setting up for the final hits, where I am going to fire off my SP1 right here, and should finish her off. Yes, Storm is down. So a bit of a rough fight. It definitely would have helped if I had that 20% boost active. It would have helped considerably. There would have been much fewer hits that I needed to do. I would have taken much less damage. I would have ended the fight with much more health. But again, I just completely forgot. It just completely slipped my mind. So moving on to the next fight here. We're 2 out of 6 down. There was a potential 7th fight here, but as you'll see throughout the rest of these fights, that really don't go in my favor. I'm not going to do that 7th fight, but in any case, we have the unblockable level 2 node right here, and there's also heal block. And because I'm running Suicide Masteries, I'm like, all right, let's just go in with Vision. Normally, I would have taken magic to this node, but let's go in Vision. and I get wrecked. But it's not too bad, actually. It's really not that bad. Yeah, I took a lot of damage there. I did not even come close to dodging that special ability. Took a lot of damage, but it's just Doctor Strange here who goes down relatively easy. A lot of these enemies that I'm seeing, I don't think this is even a rank 5 Doctor Strange. This feels like a rank 4 Doctor Strange. I could be wrong on that, but I'm almost positive that's a rank 4 Doctor Strange, because he dropped very easily, actually. So yeah, that was really not that bad. You know, in the grand scheme of things, could have been much worse. Wasn't great, but you know, got through it. So halfway down my path now, and that's about where my champion's health are at too. I've about half of the health left in my champions. So we have this unstunnable node up next, and typically what I've seen from this is Ultron, but you know, again, that was before the health gain nerf in Alliance War. So I'm not sure who to go in with here. I was going with Quake because I had, you know, the most health with Quake, and it turns out it was Ultron. Now, what I realized is that Quake really is not the best person for this node, because my little Quake strategy here of charging up the heavy, I realized that, you know, most of the damage comes from when they're actually stunned, and because I cannot stun for this node, you know, the damage is still somewhat decent, but it's really nowhere near what it normally is. Now, you're gonna see something very strange in this fight. There's a bug in this fight. A very annoying bug, as I switch to like the regular fighting style here. But check this out. It's coming up. What is that? What happened there? Like, that got me so frustrated throughout the fight, man. I gotta say, like, he didn't block that ability. He didn't evade it or anything like that. I used my SP2, and it just did nothing, man. It did absolutely nothing. I don't know what that was. I've never seen anything like that. But I was like, all right, man, whatever. Let's just get through this fight. I should not have taken all that damage that I took. I should have ended this fight actually not like perfectly healthy, but relatively healthy, right? Should have had a lot more health than what I have right now. But like I said, it's whatever. Just got to kind of refocus throughout the fight here. Keep it going. Bugs happen, especially in this latest update here. That was one of the worst bugs that I've particularly seen. But yeah, refocusing. Pop my SP3 here. It really doesn't do all that much damage. I normally don't use my SP3 with Quake. Normally, I don't gain much power at all using the Quake strategy, or I just use my SP1 to put more charges on the opponent. I really don't even use SP2 all that much either, so it's mostly just SP1 with Quake. But in any case, I do manage to finish out the fight without dying, so you know, at this point, my champions are quite low in health, but still managing to make it through the path. So I'm like, whatever, let's just keep this going. We have 2 enemies left in my particular path here, and there is a Juggernaut waiting as the center mini boss there that I would have loved to take on, but you know, again, that's that 7th fight that you're not going to see here because I don't even try it. This next fight here is a Thorns node, and I'm trying to debate, you know, do I need to heal up Black Widow? Nah, let's just go in like as is. And it's Iceman, and I'm freaking out at this point. At the time of this recording, it was April 2nd, and Iceman, his arena was still going on. And yeah, I didn't expect to see an Iceman. Threw me off guard there. Threw me off guard to say the least, and I just get shredded. I get wrecked immediately. And I'm like, all right, Iceman, I didn't really have much time to practice against this guy. At this point, I don't even think I finished all of Master Mode. I think I finished it like the following day after this or something like that. So I wasn't too practiced up against Iceman. He's not that bad in my opinion to like dodge his abilities and stuff like that. And in the questing I did fine, but in Alliance War, oh man, it's a little bit of a different story here. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I should probably just revive Black Widow, but you know, for science purposes, I'm gonna go with Quake. I'm gonna see how Quake does. Let's see what Quake can actually do against this champion. It's a Thorns node, but you know what? If I use like the Quake strategy, the heavy attack strategy, then maybe I'll be all right. So I finally remember to boost up here with only 2 fights remaining, which, you know, at this point I'm like pissed at myself because I finally remembered, and I'm like, oh god, I could have boosted this entire time. I would have had so much more health coming into all these fights. And then on top of that, I use a healing potion after the boost. I could have actually got a little bit more healing if I did it the other way around, but whatever, guys, whatever. Sometimes sometimes I don't play perfectly here, right? Or even close to it. But I go with Quake, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I got this. Let me use my little my heavy attack strategy. Dodge the SP1. SP1's not that difficult for me to dodge, and then whoa, what happened there? I didn't evade. That's right, because you can't evade against Iceman, which means when you're charging up your heavy with Quake, and normally you get that auto evade, it doesn't exactly happen in this particular instance here when you have that debuff on you going up against an Iceman. And yeah, then I start panicking and I get shredded once again by the SP1 of Iceman. And this Iceman, he's not even that high level. It's a 5-star Iceman, but you know, the person must have just got him, must not have had much time to level up the champion yet or anything like that. So it's not even that high level. And at this point, guys, I normally don't like to use this much healing in an alliance war. I don't think it's worth it to use a ton of consumables here, but I think this is my 3rd level 4 alliance health potion, and normally I only like to use like maybe 1. You know, I try to not use any, but like 1 and like a revive. The revives aren't that bad. I get those for free from quests and stuff like that, but the potions, they're very costly. I got these at the half off price for 50 units or whatever, but still, man, I don't like to use them. But anyway, back in there, up against Iceman, trying to finish things off with Black Widow here again because he has Thorns active. So I'm just dodging that SP1 and trying to finish things off. I should have honestly fired off my special there, probably would have been enough, but at the time I was still a little bit freaked out in this fight, still a little bit off my game, and now I finally you know, finish him off with SP2. So man, very annoying fighting Iceman. I could have played it so much better though, so it's a little bit too early to tell if you know, Iceman is going to be that big of a deal in Alliance War. He feels like he's going to be very punishing in Alliance War, more so than I expected. But you know, we'll see as time goes on as I record more of these Alliance War matches. So I have one more fight left here, and you can see me just kind of eyeballing the fight after, which is Juggernaut. Which again, not gonna see here. I'm not gonna do that fight. But this is the power gain node, and I'm thinking it's magic, right? It's usually magic here. Of course, I've seen other champions like Hyperion and, you know, Juggernaut and whoever else, but it's typically magic here. So I'm expecting a magic, and I even like check his profile here just to see if it is magic, because if he does have a high level magic, I want to heal up Quake and go on with Quake, but it seems like that's not the case. So I go with Vision, just because Vision is the healthiest of my champions here. That's basically the only reason. I'm thinking, you know what, if it's not magic, maybe I could finish it off with Vision, and turns out it's magic. So yeah, time to get wrecked again, yet again in this Alliance War, guys. This is what this Alliance War is all about, just me getting wrecked, it seems. But this magic is also not high level. It was not in the profile picture there for a reason, I think. I think this is only a rank 4 magic. And I'm thinking, you know what, let me actually push magic's power. I have power drain with Vision here, so let me go ahead and do that. And then, oh, my power is gone, guys. And wrecked again. Oh, man. I completely forgot about that node where my power goes away. So, yeah. I die once again. And at this point, man, I'm so over this Alliance War. It's one of my worst Alliance Wars in a while. And yeah, man, I've kind of had it with this one. But luckily, Magic does not have much health left, and yeah, look at that, only 21,000 life. This must be a rank 4 Magic. I don't know. Which makes it a little bit even more embarrassing, is that, you know, the champions that I'm fighting should have been much easier than they actually were for me. They should have been much easier, but they weren't. I got wrecked by them. So that's pretty much it for my 6 fights here. We did manage to win against this alliance, U.UB1, but if anyone from that alliance is watching, it was a good war. You definitely put up some strong fights there, and you know, you can be happy in the fact that you actually forced me to use all those consumables and everything like that. So good war, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this Alliance War footage, and I'll be back with some more Alliance War footage, not from the next war. The next war I actually had to skip, but the one after, the one that's going to happen in a few hours from now. Hopefully I can get some footage of that one, so we'll see. But in any case, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.